All right, ladies, welcome to our Usborne Books and More Biz Quiz event. We are going to make this a fun, quick event for you to learn a little bit more about Usborne Books and More and what being a consultant is all about. So we're going to keep it about 30 minutes or less because we can cover a lot of material, and we also want to have some time for anybody to ask questions if you choose to. So welcome. Thank you so much for coming to spend a little time with us and learn a little bit more about Usborne Books and More. That is our official name. So we want you to have fun, but we also want to make sure that you get all your questions answered so that you can make a decision if this is something you'd like to do. So first of all, we are consultants. We're independent of the home office that is based in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we sell Usborne and Kane Miller books. They're the two different publishing companies that are part of Educational Development Corporation, which is listed on the NASDAQ. And if you follow the stock market at all, our home office staff, the upper management got to go ring the closing bell earlier this year. I forget if it was late January, early February, but that was a real cool thing for them to get to do. But as consultants, what we do is we help families and organizations to have access to these really awesome books. They are award-winning throughout the world. Our titles win lots of educational awards, parenting awards, literacy awards, and there's a whole slew of them listed online. So if you'd like to know more about that, you can ask your consultant, or you can go do a quick Google search. And then we help organizations in the community to get these books through lots of different kinds of events. So we help families by doing parties where a host can earn free books. We help preschools doing book fairs where they can earn free books for their school. We also have community outreach kind of things where we can go into the community and do story times, or we can work with the Christmas Bazaar at a particular women's club or a church group. And help them to get books for kids that need good books in their home. We also have a fundraising program to help the baseball team or the cheerleaders or the mission team or whoever it is that's trying to raise money for a particular cause, whether it's an individual or a group. And we have a matching grant program, which helps organizations that are getting gifted funds for books to get an extra 50% more in titles of their choice through this program. So we have a lot of different things that we can do, and I appreciate all of that variety a lot. So that's a really, it's a perk to me to be able to do lots of different types of things, so I don't get bored doing one particular type of event. And as far as parties go, we do in-home parties. We also do Facebook parties. Some people do their parties on Zoom like this. So there are a lot of different ways that you can do that as well. And we earn commission on our sales. Most of our sales earn 25% commission, but for the programs like book fairs, fundraisers, matching grant, our commission is 17% because the home office offers free shipping on those programs, and they also are very generous in the return to the organization. So that means we make a little bit less, but usually the overall total on those events is higher. So it works out well because we're benefiting the organization with those programs too. So that's just a really quick high-level description of what we do as consultants. And a lot of people get very creative in the ways that they work their business in doing these types of events. Some people only work from home and they never leave. Some of us do a mishmash of all kinds of things, and we may go work at an educational conference and a gift show and it is possible, also I didn't want to forget mentioning, it is possible to become certified to work with schools and libraries and to sell directly to schools and libraries, but that does take a certification training, and there is an additional cost for that training and the certification process. So I just wanted to put that out there as a possibility. That's something that you can do early on as a new consultant, or you can wait and do it in the future if you want to dip your toe in as a consultant first and then move on into being an educational services rep. That's an option too. So I am excited to introduce Deborah, because Deborah actually signed up with the February kit, which is what we're talking about tonight. So she is going to do us all a favor and show us the books and goodies, the supplies and such that come with the February kit.
Hi, everyone. Yay. Just opened the box. Just opened it. Very excited about that. Take out the wrapping. Oh, more wrapping inside the box. You can't see it, but my cat is going crazy. Like, Mom, you got a box for me. Oh, look, it comes in a really cool box, too. Hey, I didn't know that. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, let's see. Congratulations and welcome to the UBAM team. Nice. It's Vistaprint.
Yay.
Book, General Knowledge Crosswords. I might even be able to do these. I don't know. Baby's first slide and see animals.
Can you hold it up a little higher, Deb?
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks.
Did you see the first one?
Part of it.
Okay, let me put that back up.
Yeah.
I think we should all go, ooh. Ah.
And it's only $5.99 or $6.99 or something like that.
Hey, Deborah, will you demonstrate the slide and see just so
Oh,
that
yes.
we can see how that works? Because it's a really cool little book.
Let me put this on top of there. Yep, this one here. The ants. Slide. Oh, where'd the monkey go? Hey, came back with the chameleon.
Scoot it toward the corner of your box a little bit because we can't see it.
There?
Yeah, and move your phone down. There we go.
Okay, sorry.
See it.
Okay. It's hard to do it this way. I can't see what I'm doing. And then he's trying to catch that fly. Oh, and there's Pandora. She came and picked up the books. She's an Usborne fan. The giraffe here.
Cute.
Yeah, no, I can't read the whole thing.
We can, though.
No, I meant I thought we're not supposed to read the whole thing.
Oh.
That one's pretty short.
Yeah. And then we did raccoon. You saw raccoon, right?
Yes, the phonics readers. That's a great.
Yeah, I love these things. For my girls, I have so many of them. I'm a nanny, so I love these things. And then, whoops. Okay, so we have here January to June 2018. I think are these catalogs, the big ones?
They are.
Yay! And then that would put these into the category of little ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Minis.
Mini catalogs.
Pack of 20.
Wow, I was expecting mini to be like, this size.
Nope.
And then we have, Cordelia's a big size book too. There's Cordelia.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, ah.
There you go, Beth.
And then Shine a Light, Secrets of the Seashore. Oh,
Yeah.
love a Shine a Light. These are fun.
Good old flashlight books. They're super fun.
And then, absolute favorite, Nibbles. And I got to tell you, I love this version. I love the original.
Yeah, me too.
And then Words of Wisdom, quotes from Shakespeare. 24 posters to color, pull out, and keep. Nice. And then we have order forms.
Mm-hmm.
And join my team. And guide to successful parties. So these are the
Post guides, yeah.
post guides. Yay! And that's the end of my box.
Does
That's
that
the end.
does that box have the mission statement printed on it somewhere? They used to do that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it's a nice box.
It is, and we can get more of those too if you like that a lot. You can get them with orders of $500 or more. I think you can order a branded box along with it.
Cool. Very exciting.
Thank
Very
you so much,
excited about
Deborah,
this.
for sharing your kit unboxing with all of us.
Thank you. Now I'm going to box it back up and act surprised tomorrow.
Deborah was gonna share that tomorrow with everybody in her party tomorrow night. Her unboxing.
Yeah, her launch
To
party.
unbox the second time.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask several of our team leaders to share or to help with the game part of this event. So we've got a few different questions as game questions, and I guess we'll just start with Janice, who happens to have earned 5 Usborne incentive trips during her time with the company. And she has 2 questions for our quiz tonight. So Janice, take it
Can y'all
away.
see me okay? Because Amy, one of my new potential team members, should be joining us pretty soon. So as soon as Amy gets here. But so I was messaging her back and forth. But anyway, I wanted to tell you, one of the questions that I wanted to ask you is, with your commission that you make with Usborne, what is something that you would do with the money? You know, different people join for different reasons, and that's one of the questions that I had for you.
I know my commission has gone to pay everything from preschool tuition to kitchen remodeling to college tuition to ballet lessons, vacation, lots of different things. All those things where I think, oh, I wish I had a little bit more money to take care of that. That's what my income has gone toward. Except for a few times it has paid the mortgage too. When my husband was out of work, it paid the mortgage for us. So that was a tremendous help.
Yep. And that's kind of the situation where I'm at is, I know Beth and I are that the money we make supports our family. That's the only money coming in right now. So that's the way we are. And but it doesn't have to be like that. It just depends on if that's a need that you have, you know, that could be something. Anybody else want to share something about what they use their commission for?
Initially, I used my commission just for holiday gifts. A lot of times we've been just paycheck to paycheck. So when the holidays hit, it's kind of difficult for us to add anything else, and that's been helpful. And then as I've grown my business and had other needs, kind of like Kathy had said, the money has gone to different places. So for a little while, we're paying for gymnastics with it. It helps with homeschooling things all the time. And in general, it's a good buffer for us to have, and it helps so that I can have a nanny 2 days a week, because with homeschooling, I do need a minute.
Yeah,
Just a minute.
Just a minute.
Yeah, just a minute.
I wanted to take a second and say hi to my friend Maggie, who's here.
Yay! I'm glad you're here, Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
We're excited that you're here. But we were just talking about what we would do with the commission. We made the commission, and one of the things that when I first started with this business, I had a deal with my husband where I would pay a certain bill each month. So I started paying that bill each month, and then anything extra I could keep, and I could surprise him at the end of the year with a special trip or something like that. So that's kind of a neat way to do when you're getting started. Just come up with one bill that you can pay, and then the more money you make, you can decide if you want to pay more bills and increase that, you know, that kind of thing. So it's really one of those really neat things. The other question that I had is every year we
Wait,
get.
I didn't get to answer. I'd love to answer.
Okay, go ahead, answer.
We have time. When I started this, I was my son was 6, and I was purchasing homeschool materials with it, and also classes, and paying for field trips with it, without putting a dent in our regular, household finances. So it was just a little bit on the side in the beginning, and if I knew I had a curriculum to buy, I could sort of save up or work just a little bit harder and make enough to buy the New Year's curriculum, because that's sort of an expense that comes up. And then now where I'm buying my son his cap and gown. Oh my gosh, he's a senior in high school, and cap and gown and yearbook and what else? I don't know. There's a grad bash coming up, and there are so many expenses involved with it being your last year in high school. Apparently. Right. So I'm very happy to be able to do that for him. Cap gown, yearbook, and we handled the the class ring he had to have too. Oil child, but anyway.
Yay. Well, thanks so much for sharing, Beth, because that's really neat, especially for homeschool moms to be able to just save up for a curriculum or something like that you're talking about, something that they want to do different. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that could really identify with that. But our next question is, every year with Usborne, we get to go on an incentive trip, or we get the opportunity to earn an incentive trip. And that is a big motivator for me and for my family. It's one of those things that I really enjoy doing, is earning the trip, for several reasons. One is role modeling for my kids, that you can accomplish something if you work hard and you make a plan and you do it. But at the other part is just creating those memories of different places that they could go to. And one of our trips that I was sharing with someone was to Ireland. And Ireland was never on my radar. I never thought, oh, I really want to go to Ireland. But it was one of my most favorite trips. So my question is for all of you, if next year, if you were announced this at convention, but if you were going to choose a trip that you would like to earn this next year, where would that be?
Greece.
What would you do? It would be Greece. That's
I don't
so
That's mine too, Beth.
Really?
Yes.
that would be just cool. I think we would definitely be very motivated toward that trip. So that would be cool. Anybody else?
Greece would be
My
cool.
son, go ahead, Rachel.
But my daughter and I would like to go to Paris, so I imagine that would be fun.
Well, I'm there with you on Paris too, because I got to go to Paris, but I did not get to go in the Eiffel Tower. Story was there was a big riot that night, and they closed it. So it's on my bucket list. I have to go back, and my daughter wants to go with me this time. So,
Yeah.
so I would be right with you there, dreaming about that and making that happen regardless. So
Yes.
cool.
That'd be so fun.
Anybody else?
Wasn't that your first trip, Kathy? Or one of your trips?
I didn't earn a Paris trip. Nope.
You went to Italy, Rome, right?
Yes. Yeah, I earned the Rome trip and Hawaii.
That's cool.
Fun. What great memories.
How about you, Chris? Where would you want to go?
Well, my kids and I were talking today about where we would want to fly on a plane. And one of the places that my son wanted to go was the UK. And that's always been on my bucket list. So that would be awesome. But I think that might have been one recently. Was London a recent trip already?
It wasn't very recent. They did take one to London.
Okay.
But it's been a while. So
It hasn't been in my 6 years.
mhm.
I went to London as part of Ireland, but it wasn't a trip. That was the other thing. You can they're already paying your airfare overseas, so you can go somewhere else too if you want to on your own expense.
Right.
But, they're already paying your airfare, so might as well.
Definitely.
So we rode a ferry from London to Ireland, and that was a cool experience too. Or from the UK.
That is cool. So Janice, you said you've been with Usborne for 6 years, and how many trips have you earned?
Well, yeah.
Go, girl.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Maggie, where's your dream trip, Maggie? Where would you want to go?
Italy. That's cool. I would go back to Italy too.
Oh, I would too. I would totally go back. That's like top of the list of all the places that we've ever been, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go back in a heartbeat.
And Kathy, did your whole family get to go?
We did take our kids. My husband had some miles built up so that we could get some of the tickets with miles. And the cool thing with taking your kids, once you've paid for 2 adults, the kids are like next to nothing because they're rooming with you. And so it was a no-brainer for us to take them with us.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was really a neat trip. So how about you, Deborah? Where would you want to go?
I'm not really a traveler, but I am a romance reader. So if I have to go anywhere, I would prefer to go to the Highlands in Scotland.
Ooh, how fun.
Nice.
Yeah. That would be very nice too.
It's funny how books really change lives.
Yeah, romance.
Because I read a book about St. Augustine, Florida one time, and I wanted to go there, and I did. It was cool,
That's funny. Mm-hmm.
All right. Somebody else had a question. Oh, Rachel, you have been with Usborne. How long, Rachel? I forget.
Since the summer of 2014. 15,
Okay.
16, 17. I'm counting on my fingers. 18. This summer will be 4 years.
Okay. If you're like me, you have to count the kids and when their birthdays were to determine
Exactly.
everything happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Rachel has worked with me on all kinds of different stuff, and alongside homeschooling her kids. And she's got 3 little ones, and she's making this work around everything else she's doing. So this is a great question for you. I think.
Yeah.
You do this well.
Oh, thank you. So how many hours per week must you work as an Usborne book lady? Should I give these options?
Sure.
Okay. Do you think it's 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, or 40 or more hours, or any of the above?
Well, you're your own boss, right? So.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This truly is your own business. You get to decide which hours and when, and then if there's different seasons, you can work more in the seasons that allow it if you really feel like you want to and need to. Or if it's a season that doesn't allow it, you can take a minute. And you're your own boss. Nobody's going to be down your neck about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think, I'm sorry, I was going to say, even from week to week, I don't think I work the exact same amount of time every week, but, averaging it out, it's definitely a lot less than if I was going to a job, a job job.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I get
the case for me too.
And I get to decide when I work, which is also quite nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've noticed the beginning of my, Usborne career, it was more of a hobby. Like I did want that little bit of extra money, but it wasn't quite as big of a deal to me then, for different personal reasons as it is now, to work more so that I can make more. And it definitely makes a difference when I am working more hours. I am getting more out of it, but it doesn't always have to be more hours for me. So kind of like you said, Kathy, there are some weeks that I work fewer hours, but it just kind of builds off of momentum, and then it's just doing it.
Mm-hmm. Just consistently doing something. What is it? Nancy Ann says, touch your business every day. It's kind of like one of your children. You wouldn't totally ignore one of them for a whole day.
Yeah.
But sometimes one of them needs a whole lot more attention than the other ones do. So
yes,
that was a good analogy.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, thanks, Rachel.
Yeah.
I've got, who else was going to ask a good question? Oh, Beth, you had a good question to ask.
Who are we asking?
We're just throwing this information out there in question format, game show hosts that we are.
Just teasing. So how much does it cost to get started this month with your Usborne business and order your kit?
I know.
Is it A, $40, B, $75, C, $125, or D, any of the above?
It's A.
Yay! And
For Deborah, it was A, right?
That's right. Technically, it was 42 something with tax.
Yes. And the other 2 kits are available this month too, the 75 and the 125, but the $40 is a real steal of a deal. So I like that one a lot.
Especially if you have just moved and you had to get your driver's license and your car registered and it costs you a lot of money. That $40 is I can do it for $40.
Yeah. And we haven't had a sale deal on the kit for quite a while, so it was an extra special treat to be able to offer that.
Yeah, it's cool.
And last but not least, you know what I forgot to add about Beth, and I'm sorry I didn't do this when I introduced you, Beth, but Beth, I also wanted to mention, has been very involved in using the matching grant program in her state, all over Florida. And she was in the top 10 for matching grant sales. And I can't remember the exact year, but it's been within about the past 3 or 4 years, right, Beth?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I have the picture from when your name was on the screen, but I can't remember the year. So Beth is very involved with working with schools and libraries and is good at that. So I wanted to make sure and mention that.
Good to
And
know.
Chris promoted to team leader when, Chris, did you promote?
November.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say like in the last 6 months. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She is a fairly new team leader, but a very successful consultant with a growing team. And Chris has got a good wrap-up kind of question.
Okay, so there's lots of different opportunities that are out there that we could do as a side gig. Why would anyone decide that they're going to choose UBAM over one of the other opportunities that are out there? Should I give options? Or
I was going to say, honestly, I think we all have different reasons for doing it, and it would be great for each person to share. I was specifically looking for something to do. Not everybody comes to it that way, but I was specifically looking for something to do from home, and I knew about other companies, and I used their products, but it was not something that I could be like, woohoo, I want to share this with everybody. I want to share lipstick with everybody or spatulas with everybody. I liked the products, but when I saw the books, I was like, yeah, I can say I want to share these books with every mother that I know and every teacher that I know because these are phenomenal and I want them all in my own classroom. And why have I never seen them before as a teacher, you know? So for me, I was searching, and when I found this, I was like, well, this is a no-brainer. You know, I didn't look any further. That was why I chose Usborne.
For me, maybe the opposite. I was not looking to have a business. I had a friend that I was a live-in nanny for who kept showing strategically, I think, these books that her kids were using that were amazing. And then all of a sudden, look, you can get them all in the kit. And I thought, well, that's cool. And then she called me and I was like, well, you can get more, you know. And then it really was that easy. I brought my box to a park, and without trying harder than that, I booked 3 parties and sold, I think it was something like $300 in books. I was like, I don't have time for a business, but that was really easy. So as soon as I thought, well, I'm going to make time for a business, it was really easy. And it's so fun because I love books. It was just natural.
It's neat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great story.
I think it's kind of funny. I feel like I was bamboozled into this wonderful thing.
Yeah, you just sort of fell into it.
Right.
Yeah. You were open to listening, to seeing, you know, if that was a possibility. And like I was telling someone later tonight, with the $40 kit, what do you have to lose? Nothing.
And it's $40 kit, and I did the math, you guys. It's something like $78.92 worth of books. Like,
Yeah.
Books, yeah.
get out of here.
Crazy. It's a great time, if ever, to consider this business.
How about you, Chris? What got you interested?
The books, absolutely. I kind of had my eyes open for something that I could do to work at home, not really network marketing or anything like that, but I was invited to a party, and immediately, I've always loved books, And so I didn't even see the books before I started considering joining, because if I could sell books as my side gig, that's what I was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I found out I could work with schools and libraries too, I was definitely, that's what got me, that I could impact kids doing something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'll get on for just a second. I've had my audio and video off because I do not feel well at all today. So anyway, but I did want to, I want to share a little bit about my story, because much like Kathy, I don't think I could sell you makeup, and I don't think I could sell you spatulas. But I did go to a party that a friend of mine was hosting, and it was one of those nights where it had been one of those weeks, really, where there had been every extraneous expense you could think of. There was no money in our budget, and my friend had just begged me to come, and I was like, I'll come, but I can't buy anything, and I couldn't buy anything. But I fell so in love with the books that I couldn't help it. And so as soon as I got the opportunity to have the money, I went ahead and joined. And as a homeschool parent, I have 4 kids that we homeschool, really at the time from kindergarten up to high school. I really found something in there for all of my children. So I saw it as an opportunity to have wonderful books for my children, as far as educating them. I had never considered a direct sales business before, and I honestly drove away thinking that is the craziest thought that I have ever had in my life. But I tell you, I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the friends that I've made. And I love impacting our community. I've been able to do book raisers for Habitat, been able to do book fairs at schools. And I'm telling you, like, I loved the school book fair when I was a kid. But I honestly think it was a little bit more fun from my perspective, going in there, selling the books, because I got to watch all of these children just be so excited, and picking up these books and just going through them, and they were joyous about it. So I do absolutely love the school and library market as well. I love getting the books into our local libraries for those who, can't afford the books. I live in a community where that's a reality. There are many parents, even as affordable as our books are, can't. But if I can get them into the library, they have access to them that way as well. So anyway, that's a little bit about, I joined more on a whim because I loved them, and fell in love even more with the business as I really got going with it. So
Thanks, Sarah, for sharing.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. I hope you get feeling better soon.
I will.
And Deborah, since you're very new, tell us what drew you to Usborne.
I've been a nanny for 30 years, and one of the things, if you ask anyone who knows me, including the agency owner that I use most of the time, what is my biggest thing, and everyone will tell you it's about books. It's like books for myself, and then especially books for my kids. And I think books are like the best gift ever, because it's like the gift that keeps giving, no matter what age you are. Because I've always been a believer that the board books aren't baby books. They make some really good board books that have actual real stories in them. And I love that. And so I've had, quite a few parties for Rachel, and she's always like, are you sure you don't want to? And I was like, I just have so much going on. And so for me now, I just moved, and I'm in a place where I can actually do it now, because I have the time, after I'm done work, to put into it during the day, when the kid's napping or playing by herself and the other one's at school. I can check in on things and, keep talking to people. And so for me, it's just more about, there are a lot of nannies out there, and I'm friends with quite a few of them. And so to kind of have an in, because it's not just parents who, buy the books. In my case, I think I am in pretty close competition with this family, with grandma, as to who's bought the girls the most books. And they're 3.5 and 21 months, and they have about 400 books. And a lot of those are Usborne. So, I'm kind of like, well, I should probably start selling so that I could get some of these books for free. And my friend is like, I'm just sorry, afraid you're just going to keep buying more books with your money and not do other things with it. And I'm like, yeah, but then I'm not spending the money on the books that I don't have, because I have this money. And so for me, it's a good cause to keep expanding their libraries.
Fueling the book habit, right?
That's right. All of them love books. All of them.
Good.
That's really cool. Thanks for sharing, Deborah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, I don't want to hang on to you guys for too much longer, because we've, of course, had fun chatting longer than I had anticipated. But among the other things that we talked about doing, the idea is that we do these different things throughout our community, and then we also help other women and men. We just got a new recruit on our team that's a guy just today.
Hey!
So that's pretty cool. To do these same things. So we help train them and help them learn how to do these things too. But I wanted to open up the floor to, I think, Chelsea and Maggie and anybody else who's here that may have questions about anything that you want to ask, because the whole idea from tonight is so people can get answers to questions that you may have. So we started with game questions, but you might have something else that we totally didn't cover that you would like to ask about. And if you want to type it in the chat window, there's a little chat icon down at the bottom. You can type it there, or you can use the video audio and just shout it out. I think Chelsea's still here. Maybe not.
Chelsea might have popped off just a second ago.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see her picture up there anymore. So Maggie, do you have any burning questions you want to ask us?
No pressure.
No pressure. That's right. Maggie is a sorority sister of mine from my days at the illustrious Transylvania University in Lexington, Kentucky. And she and I reconnected on Facebook after I moved to the Atlanta area because she's originally from here. And she is a teacher at a really prestigious private school about an hour north of me. So
cool.
It was very cool to just reconnect with her.
Cool. Those sound like really easy opportunities to just jump into and get books into the hands of kids pretty quickly. Like being a teacher, that's really cool.
There are a lot of us former teachers in the book lady biz, I think, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Makes a big difference.
Yeah. You guys have been great resources for me, for sure. You teachers.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. Well, and I think that's one of the best things about this type of business too, is that you really do have people, everybody has their own strengths and everybody has their own skill set. And when you can come together and share it all, that's a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're all stronger together. Now that I moved, oh, there we are. Okay, sorry. I opened another screen for a minute and I was like, where are all my people? I can't find them anymore.
That's what I did earlier.
All right, so I just did our random drawing of our guests, and our $25 book winner happens to be between Chelsea and Maggie. It was really stiff competition. So Maggie, you are the book winner. So I'll get with you about what books you would like for your classroom or for your own boys. I think Maggie has a senior this year too, Beth. So you guys are in the same boat. But again, if you are watching this recording replayed, talk with the consultant who shared it with you. This $40 kit that we've been talking about is good through the end of February 2018. But the $75 and $125 kits are always available. And they do rotate some titles periodically when we get new ones in the fall, in July and in January when we get new titles then too. So whoever invited you would love to talk with you more and share more information and answer questions, because we all want people who get involved with the company to be really confident and excited getting started. So if you have any hesitations, or you have any concerns, or just things you really just want to understand better, just ask. That's what we're here for, to help with that. So thank you guys again for being here. And does anybody want to add anything before we call it a night?
Nope.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Mhm.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.